What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Dirt Castle for the next episode of Darkest Dungeon. I actually did like a couple of like small missions just to sort of like fill the coffers maybe and make life a little bit easier. It didn't really work. All the runs went pretty terrible. I got rid of all the characters that went on the runs, excluding our only bounty hunter. It's a little bit weird that we haven't had more bounty hunters show up, but yeah, our party is not quite ready for all of the challenges that are ahead, unfortunately, and until we have the perfect group composition, I'm not going to go after the hag again. Simply based on the fact that the best way to beat the hag is just to ignore her mechanic entirely and just attack her with all ranged characters and a healer. And so that leads me to believe that there may be some fundamental issue with the fight. So for the way that I would change it is maybe it has to take a turn for her to reset the pot up before she can throw somebody else into it. But during that turn, she's angry, so her attacks do, I don't know, maybe an increased chance to crit or a little bit more merciful, just increased damage by like 1 or 2 per hit. I don't know, something to like space that out a little bit right now because she takes so many actions per turn that it feels like your best defense is essentially just to go straight for the throat with that fight and ignore the pot entirely. We brought a bad group for it, and I didn't really expect to win it. When I beat it on my own time, I beat it like really, really easily, so I'll probably just cheese this one through again too, since attempting to adhere to the mechanic and also bringing a subpar group that's not really prepared for a range fight does not appear to be working. However, I dislike also how the game starts to give you like limited missions. It becomes very difficult to level people up as you get further into the game because you won't look at that. We only have 1 mission for level 1 people, and yet we're in a situation right now where if we were to make another attempt on the hag, my concern is that we're out of money, and so we wouldn't be able to train. If we take another loss against the hag, essentially we're going to be out of characters, we're going to be out of money, and we're going to be, you know, out of a number of things. But how do I retrain up more guys so that I can keep making more attempts? I don't think the level recommendation is on either. Level 1 recommendation, it's doable with the right party, but not recommended. We got bad characters over here. We didn't get 2. I'll take him actually. He's an okay replacement for a crusader.
That adversity and existence are one and the same.
I think that realistically, is this the first leper that we've had the whole time? Well, the leper is a frontline DPSer. He's got really, really bad accuracy, but at the same time, he really sort of just like unleashes the Daka when he does hit the enemy. It's pretty sweet. I like him a lot. He's a good character. We'll probably take a fill-in jester for right now, I guess.
He will be laughing still.
And then we'll also bring in a... Those are both identical, are they? Okay, they got 2 different abilities down here. So my guess is that he doesn't have very good... Well, Unspeakable Commune. He can heal himself for 30. That's an interesting ability that I've never seen. He can hang out for a little while with the Tentacle Beast and gain its tentacle powers.
One must know it.
Alright, so we have busts. We have... I want to increase my sanitarium. Can we get another slot? We need 24 busts to get another slot. Okay. Well, in that case, what I may consider doing is let me take Maduit so we don't have the same problem we had before. And let me give Maduit Battle Ballad right there. And then we'll move things around a little bit. But yeah, and the odd chance that he ends up in the front line, which he shouldn't, we'll get rid of that and we'll put that in just in case he ends up somewhere in the middle. He's got like an AoE that's workable for a little while. Heroic End is probably the better choice between Dirk Stab, too, because there's no reason for him to be moving to the front line, like, ever with this current build. But we'll keep him right there. It should be okay. The Dirk Stab is nice if you're trying to run a front line bard, where he's constantly spamming out the accuracy mod debuff or whatever it is. It'll help out. It'll definitely help out. We need to handle some stress, too, on some of these lower level guys. So we'll go right there with Malbine. And then we'll go up here with Turnbutt. I need you to be relaxing and chillaxing for a little bit to feel better. Alright, so recovery mode. I suppose that puts us up on this medium quest. We don't really have much of a call other than that. We could go after the hag again, but we didn't have the right party before. We definitely don't have the right party right now. We could go... Not a terrible plan to bring in a couple. Actually, it's not the worst plan ever to bring in 2 highwaymen. So 2 highwaymen, a bounty hunter, and a healer would probably be the best way to run hag if you're trying to ignore her mechanic entirely and just try and skip straight past it. Because that right there will do enough damage, and it's got enough crit to where I think you might be able to rely on it too. A 15% chance to crit is no slouch. We don't have the party. We gotta wait for more recruits, otherwise we're not gonna make it. So let's do a medium run for right now. Let's see here. I'm gonna bring... I suppose we'll bring... Let's bring Revere. Let's bring... I guess, Sister Dee Dee. We'll bring Tardif. We'll move her to there, and we'll bring Maduit, who has all the things that I want. Okay, good. It's going to be a medium run, so I figure bringing some of this stuff along will probably be helpful. Is she upgraded Revere right now? What grace are you using? Divine Grace 2 and Divine Comfort 2. 3 would be better, but we'll take it for the time being. We'll go 12 right here. We will go 18 right here. No, that's not divisible by 4. What am I doing? We'll go like... And in we go to stab some fools and slap some Joes. Alright, there's nothing specifically about Joes that I want to wound. I like people named Joe. I don't know, one of my best friends in college, his name was Joe, but he moved back to Texas or something now? I don't know, he's out in the boonies somewhere. I'm not sure where he went. Not to say Texas is the boonies, but I mean like the boonies of Texas. So, into Texas, and thus into the boonies to follow. There you go. Looks like we got an ambush fight in this room. Oh, good. It looks like they're front-loading all of our... Well, we got to do this anyways because it's 100% of room battles. So, not to be confused with Roomba battles, which you can have in your living room with the remote control protocol on your Roomba. Ah, we surprised the spiders. Good. We may not be the stealthiest group, but our ability to surprise spiders remains intact. It's a weird ability to have. People question me about it a lot. They were like, wait, so you confuse spiders? What's up with that? Is that like a thing? You confuse spiders? And I'd be like, yep, I was trying to heal her and also deal damage at the same time. Unfortunately, we have only slayificated one spider. That's bad, because they're going to web us and mark us, and it's going to hurt like hell. Yeah, this bite attack, it causes considerable harm when left, like, marked on your character. It's not fun. It's not a fun thing to be marked by a spider. Let's see here. Let's get going with some stress relief, because it appears as though everybody here is a little bit stacked up. Let's continue our march of spider destruction, spaduction, if you were to come up with a word to describe it. On this side, since she's going to heal... Oh my god, another dodge. Why? Why are you getting dodged so much? What's up with that, Revere? What's going on? What's going on with you? Minus 10 accuracy could be the root of the cause. So for right now, we're going to have to stun lock and make this work. She got the second turn. So, why is the turn taking so long? Come on. Come on. There we go. We'll take 5 health right there. She should be not too difficult to get back up and running, but still, it's a bit. It's a bit. We've got Intimidate. It's got Knockback and minus 10 accuracy. Sure, debuff the bastard. Why not? Aw, you resisted my debuff? Why would you do such a thing? Why would you do such a thing? My Shia debuff? Let's see here. We've got a Blightstone. It gives you a chance to blight skills but lowers your HP. Not so useful. I'll probably save it for later, maybe. Save it with the later taters. I have later taters. They're taters for later. I don't know if I've ever described the later taters. The later taters are almost specifically for later. Occasionally, you can actually, if you're not a procrastinator, you can eat the later taters before it's later. But it's sort of your call. I don't know. I think I'm going to break this off. It's getting kind of like an Abbott and Costello vibe, and I think I'm just going to try and, like, excuse myself from it as though it was a particularly stank-ridden toilet. We didn't get... No, not Eldritch Pull! Oh, man. That's not good. I mean, at least we can still heal, so that's good. But that Eldritch Pull is going to cause us a small bit of harm in the future. Let's just get on it. Let's get on it right now. We're going to deal some damage. We got Heroic and we got Harvest. I think I would rather allow him a turn for right now. And so let us continue. He brought a busted sword in. It is a literal buster sword, kind of a busted sword. The Dave & Buster's sword is a sword that you get extra tokens at Dave & Buster's for bringing along. Do they have those in other countries? If you don't know what a Dave & Buster's is, it's kind of like a, I don't know. It's a place you go as an adult to get drunk and play games. It's a Chuck E. Cheese for adults. I don't know if they have Chuck E. Cheeses everywhere either, so I wasn't sure if I could describe it as such. Bleed! Bleed! There we go, from your exposed flanks. How dare you and your weird short arm. Doesn't her arm look weirdly short? It's a problem with the perspective, but it looks weirdly short to me. I don't know. I'm like, why do you have such a weirdly short arm in the middle of this fight? She's like, well, that's why I had to become a brigand. Everybody said I was weird and I had an oddly short arm. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry for your troubles. I didn't mean to cause you pain like that. I mean to cause you pain with a halberd.
A trifling victory.
But your weirdly short arm was just, it was a point of questioning. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings by asking about it. I just sort of felt the need to ask about it because we're already here. Like, well, thank you. Thank you for bringing up my T-Rex arm. I now feel as though the dungeon, which was my safe place, is now no longer my safe place. Thank you. You have made me feel upset about my physiology, and I hope that someday somebody makes you... Wow, that's a nasty room right there. Since we're only doing room fights, I don't think that that room is such a great idea. That's one of those rooms where you're just like, if it's like your first run with level 0 people, you just sit there and cry the whole time. You're like, why, RNG, why? Luckily, we have scouting skills. Oop. No! We have been defeated by the powerful fart fungi, who, contrary to popular belief, are not that fun of guys. Let's see here. We've got a fight in this room, and we do have to do the room fights, so let's get on with that. Little bit of light, increase that loot. The sack is empty, so let's scoot. We got a dead guy over here. We don't have any medicinal herbs, but He became diseased by the remains. Oh, I'll take blight. That's fine. Blight's cool. He's like, oh, cool. I'm glad you don't care about my oozing pustules. Thank you for your concern. Oh, good. Rabies dogs. Those are fun. The rabies dogs, I don't like them because they give you rabies. In case you hadn't. And they have really, really high dodge. Like, their dodge is like 20%. It is super brutal. And so if you have a low accuracy character in your group, have fun with the joys of fighting these little guys. They can cause you... Let's go ahead and increase accuracy since we are up against enemies that don't like our accuracy. Oh, a double crit right there. Okay. Alright, everybody. Getting your head in the game. I appreciate your fascination with destroying the enemy. Instead of wasting my time attacking with her, I think I'm just going to throw a heal out just in case. We're probably all going to be bleeding by the end of this one anyways. The Rabid Rush. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Let's see here. That's still got to be like one of the greatest songs of all time. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. It's gotta be in the top 10 at the bare minimum. Every time that song comes on, I feel the just inherent urge to open my windows and rock. And I don't care if my neighbor's here. They need to listen and they need to appreciate the rush. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Living on a lighted stage approaches the unreal. Your crit has made me feel all the pain and rabies in my tiny female frame.
Let's keep the stress on the DL for right now. How about that? Oh, good. Yep, there's the dodge right there, unfortunately. A little bit of a dodgy chance to hit that individual. Geddy Lee. Like, Geddy Lee. Geddy Lee. That's all you have to say. Geddy Lee. Like, you don't even need to bring anything else up. If somebody doesn't like Rush, I don't know how I can hold a common conversation with this individual. I'll be like, so before we move on to anything else, we have to talk about the fact that you don't like Rush. We are forced in this time and place. There is nothing of value inside. I feel bad for the corpse. That kind of sucks for him. I'm going to steal this treasure chest and then walk backwards to my heart's content. How about that? Treasure chest. Actually, I'm going to dig this up. Yeah, grave digging pays off with heirlooms. So, just in case you want to get your weaving going on. We don't have anybody named Hugo in our party. Otherwise, I'd make a Hugo weaving reference. But unfortunately, we have no Hugo. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. I wish we had a Hugo, but we don't. But we don't. This will give us greater opportunities for further scouting checks, which is pretty cool. So there's that. Halt. What is it? Pajama time? Halt. Pajama time. I always wondered who the guy was that decided it needed the bop bop after each, like, little, I don't know, after each bass hit or something. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not a recording studio person. I mean, I kind of am, but I'm kind of not. I don't know how to describe the things I do. I just do them and then they happen. And then apparently it all works. Somebody stashed treasures in a tree. How stereotypical. Why would you do that? You know somebody's going to look inside of it. To this day, as an adult, I have looked inside every hollowed out tree I have ever walked past. Just to find out. Just to find out. Let us continue, for there might be a battle in this room. Although I strongly doubt it. Halt. Fungus time. We're going to make him step on the fungus because it makes me happy to watch him flinch like that. It's not an ancient trap, it's a fungus. Anybody else want further diseases? There you go. Further diseases. His blight grows. As of this point, he's kind of just like this weird stinky cloud that's following the party around. He's generally unpleasant to be around. How much more of this dungeon do we have to go? Oh, that's not too bad. We might make it. See, double hunger check right there? Double hunger check. They always get you. You can never tell in this game. You can never tell when the hunger checks are going to come along. It's... Sometimes you get none and you bring like 25 food, and then other times you get like 5 checks in one room. And you're just like, well, I feel like, why are you guys so hungry all of a sudden? That guy's so hungry, and the leper's like, well, parts of me are falling off right now. And so I think that there is a point where he says to hold yourself together, by the way, which I found to be deliciously ironic for a leper. If you don't know what leprosy is, it's a disease that you used to get. You can still get leprosy nowadays, but it's curable. I think it's a flesh-eating bacteria, as I recall, and you can pass it on to others through fluids and things like that. Like, you're contagious, and so they used to send lepers to live in leper colonies because you could actually have, like, a big outbreak of leprosy if you didn't get on top of it. And people back in the medieval times and in the ancient world weren't necessarily so sensitive about the suffering of their fellow man. They're just like, send him out into the forest, he'll be fine. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not here to judge or condone, I'm simply here to point out the facts. And so that being said, the one guy that needs the stress relief, and now I've been spooged on by a spider, great. So much worse than being touched by an angel, although I'd still probably report that to a government agency if it happened. Your divine status aside, if you touch me without my consent, I'm going to go to a government agency. They may not be able to run you down and chase you down, but you know what? It's going on paper nonetheless. I was talking about something and now I've forgotten what I was discussing. What was I discussing? Talking about something. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Oh yeah. So anyways, leprosy. That's what we were talking about here. Can you disarm a trap for once? Everybody else here, you're the only dexterous person in the entire group. He's like, I put dexterous on my resume because I like watching Dexter, the show. I'm not actually dexterous. I'm dexterous as in I can watch the show for hours without getting tired. You know what? For mismarking your resume, have fun. He's like, I did. I found 100 gold coins inside of a dead body. Let's see here. I don't know if I would take 100 gold coins from a dead body. It seems like a risk. It seems like a risk of a curse. But yeah, leprosy, it's like a flesh-eating bacteria or something like that. We can cure it nowadays. But back in the day, we couldn't. And it causes your body to just, like, fall apart. And so at one point, he says, hold together. And he has another line where he's like, we got to hold ourselves together or something like that. And every single time, I'm just like, irony. Because lepers, their ears and, like, their noses fall off and stuff. Because the bacteria attacks the extremities first. So, like, your fingers and stuff fall off. So, hold together, you see what I mean? It's vaguely funny in kind of a sick, like, sadistic black humor sort of way. In case we get a crit, I'm just going to keep spamming that out because the Jester is not looking so happy with his present lot in life. If all I had in life was a lot, I'd be a little bit upset with it too. From what I understand in the Bible, hanging out with Lot was not, like, such the greatest thing. I mean, just don't stand near Lot. By and large, nothing good happens to Lot ever. Let's go ahead and increase our accuracy. Did Lot? I might have my names wrong. It's been a long time since Bible class for me. I went to Bible class a lot when I was a kid. Like, seriously, like 10 times a week. It was utterly insane how much I went to, like, church. My family is, like, one of those really, really old school religious families that basically, like, church was, like, the only thing they did. Like, there was really no other social occasion for our family aside from going to church, which happened, like, 4 or 5 times a week. As I said, I feel the need to reiterate because it happened a lot. And so anyways, I was always up at Bible school. It happened, and all of the functions outside of Bible school were, like, Bible related. So, you know, I was fairly sheltered until junior high. And then if you're still sheltered at the end of junior high, I don't know how to help you, because junior high is one of the most... It's like prison. Junior high is one of the worst places ever invented by man. Like, I have never met... I think that the quality of junior high in the United States is spoken of by the fact that I know people that liked high school. I know people that hated high school. I know nobody that enjoyed any moment of junior high. It was just utterly the worst. For everybody. Even the popular kids were like, yeah, junior high sucked. It was the worst. Like, I was popular, but it sucked. How dare you dodge me, you little flesh-ridden sack of disgustingness? Let me shoot you with my magical spells of enemy destruct. No! Stop getting me. Stop. And definitely stop critting me. That's double not okay. I brought a bard along. This was not supposed to be an issue. Ah. The sighing is so real right now. The sighing is so real. At least we've got a campfire left so I can sort of fix this, but then... Continue to play your songs of relaxation. Yes, lay down the lovemaking jams. But yeah, my assumption that junior high was universally terrible is vetted by the fact I need to stop using that ability and just, like, heal people. That ability. She's nerfed too much right now. She has an inability. Escape Cloud does not appear to let you escape. I'm not sure, like, what you're trying to do right now, but... You're cursing me in such a fashion with Blight that I feel that we can no longer be friends. Also, stop having such random turns. Act at the end or act at the beginning, but seriously. The unpredictability of the turns in this game, I dislike it. Like, you never know whose turn is going to be where. It's just like, okay, Well, why give people a speed rating at all if you're just going to leave it all up to a dice roll at the end of the day anyways? I have a word for this. Aleatory. There we go. There's your vocabulary lesson for the day. Aleatory means that something is all a turn of the dice. It has nothing to do with skill or anything else. If a task is aleatory, it's like just Yahtzee is aleatory. There's no skill in Yahtzee. You just roll dice and you try and like match up bingos and stuff. Get rid of you, take the Onyx because I love Pokemon, and Onyx happens to be one of my favorites. I brought that up in a video log at some point. Onyx happens to be one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I like Onyx a lot. I am a Gen 1 kid. I am not a Gen 1er, so calm down Gen 5 people. Every time I bring up the phrase Gen 1, I hear people like lose. There's got to be a fight in this room. There's no way. I think clearing all of the room fights means you have to fight in all the big squares over here. Yeah, dig it up with our hands. What's the worst that could happen? No, you caught rabies from a grabies. That's no fun. Alright. Oh, and now you're covered in sticky goo. Slow reflexes now, too. It's funny how permanently you can just, like, damage a character in one run just by clicking on stuff. I do it anyways because the benefits outweigh the risks, because you can just, like, fire him and hire a new guy anyways. It's not even that big of a deal, but I don't know. Some people that seem to have a problem with that. A lot of people are like, why do you fire so many characters? I'm like, because they're useless. They need to be away from my sight because they no longer instill confidence in my soul. And so I send them away from me to die in the forest alone. I like to imagine that they die in the forest alone. I'm going to go and see if maybe we can Iron Swan one of the backline ladies down because I don't want any more stress. Oh, the frontline guys are kind of a concern too. So we have a number of, you know, issues. I should stop doing that. I should really consider, like, not doing that anymore. They can't spawn any more enemies as long as... These guys right here, they're a swarm unit, and what they do is they spawn new enemies when they do certain spells. Wow, what's up with all these crits? Like, you guys are really, really trying hard lately. Like, the amount of crits you guys have just been bringing to bear has been utterly absurd, considering we have no bear in our group. She's a little bit furry. You might be able to call her the bear of the group, but... Since our accuracy's so bad, I think that I should probably... I think stress is a foregone conclusion at this point. I'm just gonna live with it. And we need to, like, maybe... As I recall, he's really got a high resist to being pushed around, if I remember correctly. I suppose we will continue with the Iron Swan on the back line to get rid of her, but that leaves them now open to spawn new enemies to destroy us, including a boss who's a ton of fun. And so hopefully that doesn't happen. It's not cytokinesis, it's another one that they use that spawns like a 40 HP like badass in the middle of your group, and it's problematic from any angle that you look at it. It's definitely problematic. There we go. But you know what? Our leper is on the task, just annihilating everybody. I actually may try and keep him alive just because I like my leper. You don't get a lot of them either. Lepers are kind of like a random class that you don't get a ton of. We'll leave that behind. We still have keys around, so we'll use one of those. It unlocks a hidden compartment. We'll use a torch. There we go. We got to bring everything along. The mission is thusly concluded.
Driving out corruption is an endless battle, but one that must be fought.
We could use 7,500 gold. 7,500 gold will be well put to task in our little city. We need it. We need it very, very badly. We need the jingly bits. We don't have a whole lot of them. And you know how hard it is to sing jingle bells if you don't have anything that jingles? Even like makeshift stuff that jingles. You just need something. Let's see how bad the damage is. Mercurial. Okay, that's not too terrible. Compulsive. Suffers intense need to do specific actions. Ruminator. Alright, none of these are too terrible. I mean, compulsive is an issue, but we can get rid of it. At this point, I think that, like, the things we need to accomplish, we need to start, like, fixing people. And I can see the guys, well, I can see just about everybody, to be honest. I don't think the females want their ovums removed either. Anyways, being fixed is kind of a terrifying thing. Oh, Revere leveled up too far. That's unfortunate. So now Revere can no longer do green quests. Unfortunately, Revere has other problems. Let's start working on Revere, I suppose. These are kind of expensive, but we'll start at the top. One by one. Since she can't do anything at this point anyways, we might as well just start curing all of her random ails. She'll be like, when you said you were going to cure my random ails, I thought I was going to go to the tavern. Stupid sister Dee can go in there. My stupid sister Dee always ruining my experiments in my laboratory. I love that show. Dexter's Lab is like one of the finest shows ever made. And it's not even worth arguing. Like, it's simply just like a fact. Like, Dexter's Laboratory, Spirited Away. I should make a video log about my favorite animated features. I should, because I love animation and I watch a lot of it. Not a lot of anime, though, weirdly enough. I should. But anime, you gotta dig through all the shitty anime to get to the good anime. That's always my problem with anime, is there's so much bad anime. That to find the good ones, it's stressful. It takes a lot of work. So we have busts. I should actually, can I finally upgrade this? No, I want another slot. Okay, so since we don't have, why is it that I always have so many crests? Like, my sheer variety of crests that I always have with me is just wild. Can I upgrade my blacksmithery in here? I bet I can. Yeah, blacksmithery. Let's go. We're only going to be able to upgrade one of these. And I'm going to go for weapons. I'm going to go for weapons since that seems like the better course. Who else can I hire? Hold on. We need to go to... Please don't give me terrible characters. Yeah, Buron. There we go. That's what he sounds like. He's an element. He's such a badass that his destruction is elemental. You may call me Buron. We will shorten it. He's a BN on the periodic table. Is BN? I don't think BN is. I think BR might be for bromine. I think. And so we need something. He's elemental. That's pretty awesome. I think that it's cool anyways. Stupid Sister Dee Dee. We could probably... Oh, we got so many characters here that I doubt I'm going to use. We need her. No, we don't. Forget her. Get her out of here. Make her leave. I wish that you lost one square, too, if they just did no action. It would make my life easier. It might make the game too easy, maybe, but I don't know. It'd make my life easier. Let's see here.
The thrill of the hunt. The promise of payment.
Well, I'll probably get rid of Mortimer, too, because I've been falling out of interest with the occultist. They're still a good class. I just like...
Send this one to journey elsewhere.
There we go. That's looking pretty good. Brettville. Huh.
Stock.
Actually, it's pronounced Bretetaville, just in case. If you really want to get fancy, it's Bretetaville. If you want to be super fancy about it. I'm like, alright, well, your consonants irritate me, so away with you! My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Darkest Dungeon. I will see you all in future episodes. Hi to everybody.